Several motorists in the past have lost control of that site and decorated the guardrails with their vehicles. If this curve were to be banked properly, the access to Ledbetter Road would have to be relocated. This same section of road is very dangerous in the winter because black ice tends to collect at that point. Those of us seeing the word "Nell" on the rock know the slope of the curve and possible ice on winter mornings. I used to drive this road 100 times a year, or more. Should this section of road not be upgraded before the motorists encounter these hazards? I think it should. If safety is concerned, would it not be more sensible to complete the section from Robbinsville to Andrews before the section from Dakota to Robbinsville? If the acidic rock that prevents construction of the section between Robbinsville and Andrews, why should this section from Robbinsville to Dakota be considered? After all, it's 17.8 miles longer traveling in this direction. The economy touted to be enhanced by this road is the pipe dream. US 19 was once routed to the main streets of Andrews and Bryson City. Today, those streets have the appearance of ghost towns. Drivers bypassing Robbinsville will have no inclination to stop at the business along Glenmore bypass because that'd be a mile and a half away. The merchants there will close their doors, as did the merchants in Andrews and Bryson City. Most of the citizens in this county do not have public water supply and should be concerned about supplies we do have. Those who obtain water for their household from springs will probably have to find a new source of water that's lasting, most likely cause the aquifers to be relocated. Some may have to deal with artesian water after the blasting. Many of the deep wells will be crushed because of the vibrations. Now, I have a couple more things to say, but I'll yield the rest of the people. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have Mr. Delmar Holder. Mr. Holder. Okay, I don't see Mr. Holder. Next, we have Lamar Marshall.
Feel like I'm overdressed. My name is Lamar Marshall. I'm a resident of Cowee community over the mountains here. And I'm Cultural Heritage Director of an organization called Wild South. And I've been working on a project here for the eastern band of the Cherokees, mapping the Indian trails across the mountains. And just so happened, one of the most important ones was one that I mapped over at Stokoe Gap about a week ago. And of course, the old ruts of the old trail are still intact on the parts of the mountain there, and a lot of that's going to be eradicated. But who knows how many more archaeological and Cherokee graves and sites over the mountains. And that's not to mention those home sites of the white settlers that have been there for 200 years. I'm not against having a great road coming to the road, but I am against not having an alternative or choice that would protect Stokoe Gap. There's no reason we got to blast the mountain out here and to go through this gap when we've got a perfectly good corridor that we've already paid for as taxpayers, and that they could improve and widen around 143 over the mountain. So that's not going to be. Yesterday I visited the old Cody homestead, home place up on the other side of the gap. And I talked to Mr. Cody the other day, and he said, we're getting our water out of the spring, so we'll run our spring water, and we're not going to be able to sleep now because of the truck and it's going to be blasting through here. So it's kind of sad that the government can come in here and blatantly misuse the eminent domain law to take people's lands and to destroy their lives and to take away their peace and tranquility when there's an alternative. Only when there is no alternative should this law be allowed to be used. And you can multiply this for the dozens of other families that it's going to be impacted. And I have lived on the highway where my house rattled with the trucks going by, so I know what it's like. It seems like the federal government has a long history of taking people's homes and lands in these mountains. Just ask the Cherokees. I can tell you a little bit about that. And why do I say eminent domain is misused? Because building a second highway across the mountain is unnecessary. So the issue is not whether we get the best transportation plan, but about building a parallel section of road across forested land impacted the national forests, and etc. So those big, beautiful computer-generated photographs you see, that'll show the acid leaching out of the tunnel into the streams and damaging the aquatic life there and the fishing, and they don't show the destruction of the habitat that's going to be as a result of this new stretch of highway going across the mountain next to the national forest. They can't calculate the intangible values that are going to be lost in this project. So, and also at a time when we're going to almost have a global economic meltdown and we're printing paper money fast we go, why are we wasting more tax dollars on something like this when we need to be saving money? And we don't need a modern marvel that God Almighty has already created for us. You can't improve on God's creation. The natural marvel is much more important to me. And there are those that believe that the quality of our lives are measured by our access to strip malls, billboards, fast food joints, and industrial parks. If we don't mitigate this project, then we're going to be losing more than this highway is going to bring. It's going to accelerate the transformation of Robbinsville into just another American Clonesville, and it's going to lose its uniqueness, its character, and its beauty, and also the culture and the history that's found here. So the DOT should give us an alternative. It already should be on its map right there. It's not there, but they could have easily put this on here. But they don't want to do that. They can do what they want to do. So we're asking the DOT to come back and give us an alternative. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Marshall. We will be completing an archaeological study to determine what's out there. Again, that'll be for the public record if you'd like to take a look at that. And the department is aware of the challenges with the acid rock situation, and we are aware of that. So again, I appreciate you bringing those up. Next, we have Sally Lassiter, and after that, Brian Rao.
My comments will address two of the concerns that I have about the relocation of US 74 through the Stuccola Valley. Mr. Lewis, when I was a little girl, my grandfather and I explored these mountains and valleys together, and he taught me to love them. And even when we traveled to Europe together, we never found a place that we could love more. I have loved this valley, the Stuccola Valley, and the character of this terrain as long as I can remember. I've never found another place that brought such peace and joy to me as Stuccola and Santila and the Snowbird Mountains. And I'm only one of the many, many people who find this to be true. Insistence on a new 4-lane highway and unwillingness to seriously consider improving the 2-lane corridor utilizing existing North Carolina 28 and 143 is short-sighted and makes me wonder why. Why wouldn't the project's stated purposes be served at less cost and with less negative impact on our community and on our streams and wetlands by pursuing well-designed upgrades and improvements to our existing roads? I too am concerned about the volume of truck traffic through the Nantahala Gorge, but do we have to destroy the Stuccola Valley to solve that problem? There are other solutions. The character of this community and the character of its terrain will never be the same if this road is built as proposed.